hope you guys did not forget about us while we were away. Yes, we missed quite a bit of coverage last week, but my name is Randy, and I am joined by my wonderful colleague, former Survivor U.S. player from Season 41, Eric Abraham. Abraham, we missed last week. Not only did we miss last week, but Jack and Will for Stockwatch missed last week. So it was like a shortened week, but even though it was a shortened week, Survivor Social got to chat with Brian Corden from Survivor Guatemala, and then got something for you. Got to chat with Todd Herzog, winner of Survivor China. So we only had 2 episodes last week. We didn't have the pre-show. We didn't have the after show. We didn't have Stockwatch. But it actually was still a super eventful week. So welcome back, everybody. Like I said, hope you didn't forget us. Welcome to the Survivor 46 pre-show. Abraham, how you doing, man?
You know what's funny, man? I remember when the season kicked off, and people was like, what's the name? Who's that? Oh, how is the game playing? It's an hour and a half now. Now we vested. We know everybody. We looking at all the moves, and it is looking wild to the finish this season.
It's looking good. It's looking like a good season. We already have Daryl in the chat. Cancel Christmas. Wasn't that the name for last week's episode?
Look, hey, Q, who said Q was going to get voted out? Q going to ride it to the end. Q got him a spot on the third, somewhere on that third seat, second seat. Oh, man, but you know what? It's up in the air. I'm looking forward to tonight. Let's go ahead and give a moment of silence to immunity idols. Apparently, they didn't want to get played this season, so we ain't got to worry about that part. Another one bites the dust last week.
Absolutely shocking. I know we weren't here to cover it, but the 4th immunity idol to go out of the game in somebody's pocket. That's the most of any season from what I'm hearing. So it's a brand new Survivor record. This season, the cast has been messy, literally on the show and off the show. Like every week, someone is tweeting something new out. There's a lot of hostility between this cast from what we're seeing. And Abraham, look, we've been saying it. Play. Well, we were saying don't tell anyone about your idols. They've done pretty good about not telling people, but now they just won't play their idols. So it's like, if you have an idol, just play it. And I do think moving forward, this is going to change how the game is played. Like, I think for seasons 47 and 48, they're going to go out there and they're going to find an idol and play it immediately because they're like, I'm not being like 46. I'm not going with this in my pocket. Like, I think this could change how the game's played.
Well, here's the upside. Nobody knew Venice has an idol. So it may not impact people going out there looking again because everybody's kind of still in the dark. But did you catch the part where Jeff said, hey, shot in the dark, last time to be played? If that's the last time to play your shot in the dark, guess what's a better thing to play? Just if you don't even think you may need it, you could blind somebody. Now, this season been successful on blindside. And this is the most animated I've seen the jury sit on the sideline. Because usually they don't say anything. They kind of just sit there and watch and make facial expressions. But they having conversations on the sideline now. But I think you have an entertaining group of individuals towards the end. And as I like to point out, have you seen my stats?
Are you talking fantasy stats?
My stats guy.
You're the only person with 2 castaways still in the game. And Abraham is feeling all high and mighty because he is now the top guy in the fantasy standings, and he's 2 weeks away from going back to back.
I'm successful in 3 seasons.
3 seasons? What are you talking about? We started this last year, didn't we?
No, the season before last. See, what happens when you don't win, you forget about stuff. I have a winning streak that's still going. But you know what? I would have liked to see what happened if my third person didn't get medevaced out, but he got medevaced out, so we ain't gonna see him for a while. But again, Maria, she playing Survivor.
Oh, she's so good.
If she doesn't get there to be able to play, if she loses immunity or doesn't win, I project if she doesn't get immunity this time and they don't vote her out, she's definitely winning the game of Survivor. You heard it here tonight.
You think so?
If they do not vote her out tonight, she don't get immunity. She doesn't win immunity.
You're saying if she makes it to the finale, she's winning Survivor.
Oh, she went hands down. Hands down.
Okay.
Tell me who's runner up. Give me a runner up.
I still think Kinsey can steal it.
Kinsey who?
Kinsey who? New mother Kinsey. By the way, congratulations to Kinsey on her pregnancy announcement.
First of all, name one thing Kinsey has done. Somebody got the season over. Oh, she did say that thing about the dragon tattoo, the dragon mermaid tattoo.
No, that was she didn't say that. That was Q. Q said that.
Was he? No, that was Kinsey. She said it. She told
Q
Banu.
said it. Q or no, it was not Q. Banu said it about Kinsey.
Oh yeah,
Banu created it. Yeah.
So that was memorable. She missed her opportunity when she didn't vote out Tiff. That was her opportunity right there. When she didn't vote out Tiff, now
Abraham, there's still time. I mean, all these people have played the game. They've all made moves. Like, yes, Maria's the front runner. We got some comments here. Georgette adds in the chat, hey guys, anxious for the episode tonight. Yeah, I mean, we see people arguing every single week, so I would also be anxious. Daryl is very active in the chat. Charlie and Maria are running the show. There's someone you could talk about. Charlie. Daryl, Q won't win, but he can make that money on the final tribal. Yep. 3 people with idols not playing them in a row. It's been ridiculous. Based on the edit, it is really obvious who is going to win this season. I imagine he agrees that it's Maria. And then Daryl, you can tell Kinsey is going to win because they keep showing her and she is doing nothing. I'm telling you, I think Kinsey's winning this season.
Let me help you out. Something that's always you can count on a Survivor. Petty jewelries. They're not who could Kinsey sit next to where they're going to be like, okay, you're a clear-cut winner.
She could sit next to Liz and Q, and I think she would win.
So you trying to tell me you would have to navigate and keep Liz and Q, and they're going to vote for, you know what?
Charlie and Maria goes out tonight. And then you get whoever doesn't go out. The next person, like Charlie and Maria, go in the next tribal council. Then it's down to Ben, Liz, Kinsey, and Q. You get Ben out. There you go. Liz, Kinsey, and Q. Your final.
Well, we might get Ben out tonight for doing what he did, so we're gonna see about that. Ben might be gone tonight.
What do you mean doing what he did? Because I'll say I fell behind in Survivor. Not only I was super sick last week. Abraham was in DC, and I just watched the episode from last week. I just watched it, like before hopping on this live. So it is fresh in my brain, seeing like the moves, who was going after who. It was very interesting to see that we're deciding who gets pizza over rock, paper, scissors. And you're taking Q after the guy just ate Applebee's. So this is very interesting.
I'm taking Q too. And I'm trying to make it seem like I didn't want to take Q, but I'm taking Q because you know why? Q's still on the sidelines. There's nothing Q can really do but play with someone. He can't outwin anybody. Q hasn't won a challenge since we started Survivor this season, so we ain't worried about him.
He's not a challenge threat. And Mr. Pokey Guy adds, I feel like Kinsey could easily win against Ben, Liz, and Q for sure, and still has a shot against Charlie and Maria in certain ways. I do too.
No,
Abraham.
No, look. Let's be realistic.
Kinsey's winning this season. Kinsey's winning.
Let's be realistic.
I'm being realistic. Kinsey's winning.
If Maria does not get voted out tonight on this episode, she's winning Survivor. Period. They're not gonna give it to Liz. They're not gonna give it to Kinsey. If Charlie's sitting there, guess who's gonna get it? Charlie. Now Q may get voted out in there somewhere, but we're not worried about it. Ben is no threat to win anything. Ben is just going along with the flow. He enjoying the game of Survivor and nothing wrong with it. But whoever's in those other 2 seats, here's the pecking order. Maria, Charlie, Q. The rest of them, I mean, y'all just playing Survivor. Tell me of the remaining ones. What have they done?
You think Q would win over Kinsey?
Q has lasted longer than anybody. Hold on. You see the little words behind me? Outwit, outplay, outlast. He has outlasted everybody. He has outwitted everybody because his name has been voted on every time. And guess what? He's still there. Now, you take Maria out the equation, you take Charlie out the equation, you back to Q again.
We got a few more comments here. Georgette adds, Kinsey has to initiate Maria's blindside. That right there is how you win the game, if she's able to get Maria out. And then Ollie adds in, what's up, Ollie? Abe just mad. Everyone loving my draft pick. Abe's going to be really mad if Kinsey ends up winning the season because we changed the rules. And you can go back and look at this when we did our draft. If you have the winner on your team, you get an additional 50 points. So Ollie could just stay within 50 points, and if Kinsey wins, he could pass you last minute because he picked the winner.
First of all, hey, good day, Ollie. The answer to that question will be no. That won't be happening. Let me see where Ollie's at. Oh, I gotta look.
For everyone listening, we're talking about the Survivor Now fantasy competition, and
the one that I win every season.
Abe's on a pedestal because he is now first place, and he's the only one with 2 people remaining.
Man, Ollie's sitting there with one person.
Ollie's got Kinsey. That's all he has. He's 12 points behind you, and he has Kinsey.
No, he's not going to do it. We're not even worried about that. But here's the thing. Tonight's episode is going to be I saw a little teaser. They put a little teaser out there. I don't see what Liz is doing, to tell you the truth. Liz says because she's uptight. That's why she got so many allergies and allergies to everything. But nobody's feeling compassionate to feed Liz. So Liz is still going to be hungry. She ain't passed out and died. So she good. She's still playing the game of Survivor. She just has no way to be able to win her a Survivor, period. Ben has no way to win Survivor.
People are slowly coming in. Usually the pre-show's been the biggest show for us, Abe, but we took a week off. So granted, people were probably, and we didn't make an announcement because I run our social media. And like I said, I was like dead sick last week. So we didn't make an announcement. So yeah, welcome everybody coming in. We are back. Before we start talking about tonight's episode, we've got a lot of stuff to go over, more stuff than ever before. So we got some cleaning to do here on Survivor Now, your go-to source for international and U.S. Survivor coverage. Obviously, if you haven't figured this out yet, this is the pre-show to the main course that we will be getting here in 45 minutes, episode 12 of Survivor 46. You can jump right back on YouTube and SurvivorNowPodcast.com immediately following the episode, right around 9:30, 9:35. And myself and Abraham will be right back here for the after show if I still have a voice left, because my voice is going. I might let Abe do all the talking tonight.
That's because my winners are going to be winners.
But we will be right back here for the after show. Look at these teams, Abraham. It looks like we've got Liz and Q, we've got Maria and Ben, and then Charlie and Kinsey. Telling you, maybe Charlie and Kinsey could form a duo, and Charlie, we've seen him want to make a move on Maria. We'll start talking about that in a couple minutes. So that will be tonight, immediately following the episode. And then tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern time, join the girls, Tegwith and Kara, for Survivor Social. They will break down the game from a social standpoint. That will be tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern time. And then on Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern time, the Stockwatch guys are back. They missed last week, but join Will and Jack as they break down the EDGIC and all of their graphs to try to figure out who is going into the final 5 with the best opportunity to be crowned sole survivor. That will be Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And then on Saturday, we wrap up our coverage of episode 12 with our Got Something For You crew. Ollie's been in the chat today. He's part of that crew. Ollie says, I'm just happy I'm doing better this season, talking about fantasy. But Ollie, Phil, and Matthew will break down the game scene by scene, make sure there isn't anything that we missed during the episode. And Abraham, my friend, that's not all that's going on right now. This weekend, it is planned for Sunday. Oh. It is subject to change, but myself and someone else will do something that has become tradition on Survivor Now. It used to be tradition in the game of Survivor, but we will do the rites of passage. We will go through and pay honor to every single castaway who is on this season, and we will rank them. We'll say whether they were a great player, a bad player, they just got screwed out of the game, they were going to win the game. We will break them all down on a tier list and pay honor to everybody. This is one of my favorite live streams of the year. Abraham, if I can get you on, I got to get you on the rites of passage.
You know what? I'm doing a Vanquish podcast this weekend. Let me know what time.
Oh, yeah. Well, we need to talk about that, too. Abraham's going back and competing. So right now it's scheduled Sunday at 9 p.m. That is subject to change. but we will be doing the rites of passage. Make sure to tune in for that. And then, this is currently scheduled for after the season. So this is scheduled for Monday, May 27th. That is after the week after the finale next week. So it's in the future, but I just want everyone to know that we will be discussing all the big news of Australian Survivor. Jeff Probst came out and said, hey, season 50, we're going to be bringing back returning players. And Survivor Australia said, here, hold my beer. This is what we have going on. And they are going to be doing two seasons of Australian Survivor next year. One, which is going to be Australia versus America, which is what everybody is freaking out about. And then another one, full newbies, which is going to be Brains versus Bronze 2. So 2 massive seasons next year. I can't wait for that. And then we are still rescheduling this. This is also probably going to happen once Survivor 46 is over. During our off season, we will have a live stream where we talk about which castaways we expect to be brought back for season 50 of Survivor US.
Let me tell you, TikTok, Ted would say it on TikTok, and I agree with her 100%. We should bring back some of the players that were eliminated early, as like myself, because we never got a chance to see them play. And here's the thing. There could always be great players. It doesn't matter where you get voted out at, that you never see a player play. So Ted Wood is my current PR person, and I'm looking to go back on Survivor in season 50. Thank you for the shout out. I need somebody to go ahead and start me up a little protest, get my name back out there because I'm about to come back.
Abraham, you're going to be one of the names that we put out there as someone we need to see back. And I told you, hold on, I'm winded. Whew, hold on.
Look, it was.
I told you guys I had a lot to talk about, and I got one more thing. Live from New York, it is Bryce and Wynn present in the Big Apple. They will be out there for the season 46 finale show. Unfortunately, I will not be out there.
This guy.
I had to back out. I'm trying to save to get my own place. So I backed out of the trip, but that does not mean there will not be Survivor Now representation out there. You can meet Matthew, Jack, Abraham, Kara, or Tegwith. All 5 of our Survivor Now analysts will be from New York. I'm sure one, if not multiple of them, will be running our Instagram. And I also am planning a very, very, very special pre-show next Wednesday where I hope to get Matthew, Jack, Abraham, Kara, Tegwith, all at some point. It's all going to be an hour and a half long pre-show. I'm going to try to get all of them on call live from New York to call into the show and see what they're doing out there. So, Abraham, we got to get together for 47. I'm sad that I'm not going. I was thinking about it today. I'm heartbroken. I really am. But,
look, they already said the tickets for
have to be made.
The final, they said the finals tickets. I looked at Bryson Wynn thing today. They said tickets are sold out for the finale. I get in on Tuesday. I'm gonna go over here to the karaoke night, do some karaoke in since you're not there. But it's gonna be a finale. I think that this is gonna be one of those finales. We're gonna be like, oh, we didn't know what to expect.
I cannot say anything, but I will say that I do know Bryce and Wynn say this is planning to be their biggest one yet. So I am jealous for everyone who gets to go out there. Let me get to some of these comments real quick before we start talking about this episode happening tonight. Daryl calls in. Australia versus America. Let's go, baby. Everybody is excited. Jay, what about the podcast you guys were doing for who you think will return for 50? That had to get pushed off because I got sick. And we had some scheduling issues. That is still coming out. Be on the lookout. We will post an update once we get that rescheduled. Daryl adds in, I heard Brains versus Brawn 2 will have returning players. Right now, it is not scheduled to have returning players, but they have discussed doing kind of like Heroes versus Villains, where they had half returnees, half newbies. it all comes down to who the network, if they can get enough newbies to go out there. It all depends on that. Jay adds in, I'm sure I read Brains versus Bronze is all newbies. And then Georgette, do you have to pay your own expenses to go there? You do. Wait, you talking me? In a way, in a way. I'll just leave it at that. Jay, thanks for saying you hope I'm better now. I'm getting over it. My voice is still very weak. I'm getting over it. Jay also adds in, I feel like Maria's going to target Charlie this episode, and that's why she said in the preview, I feel like something in me died today because it's going to be hard for her to blindside Charlie. I mean, this is something that we saw in the preview, Abraham. We saw that Maria was crying and something was definitely tearing her up. So I guess that's probably...
I thought she ate something bad or like a pizza or something.
That's probably where our prediction starts is why do we think Maria is so upset going into the episode tonight?
Here's the thing. Everybody got to get voted out of Survivor to get to the final three. You form these bonds, these relationships, but Charlie can't win with Maria, and Maria can't win with Maria can still win with Charlie being there. So at the end of the game, it's nothing personal. You're playing a game. Yes, it may hurt a little bit, but at the end of the day, there can only be one sole survivor. So Maria, to me, at this point, has played a better game than anybody that's playing. So in order for Charlie to have a chance, if he blindsides Maria, Charlie goes up to number one because he's been a part of every vote, at least the last 5 votes. Everybody else has either been left out. Kenzie's been left out of the vote. Venus, before she left, she was left out of the vote. Q is just a vote now. And Liz is just Liz. And Ben is just Ben. I mean, they're playing the game of Survivor their way, but as far as winning Survivor, they don't have enough in the tank to get to the end. It's nothing they could do and take credit for, because they're not gonna initiate. Where Maria is initiating, Charlie's initiating, even Q initiated it. If Liz, like I said before, had Kenzie voted out Tiffany, she would be in the running for it. But you have to blindside Maria. Maria's the biggest target right now. If you vote out Q, so what?
I mean, we've seen this before. We've seen the biggest target in the game go out at final 6, final 5. We saw it with Ricard. Yeah, sorry, I almost said Richard. We saw it for Ricard in season 41, or you could say Shan for that matter. They were the 2 biggest players in the game. They made it to about that final 5, got kicked out. And then you could say Jesse for season 43. Best player left in the game, got kicked out at 5 or at 4 when he lost fire, got destroyed by fire. You could say, I had another one. Oh, Omar for season 42. Yeah. People would argue he was the best player left in the game, got knocked out around that final 5 area. So there's a lot of, we've seen this in the new era. We've seen where the best player in the game gets knocked out around final 5, final 6. So it's very hard for Maria, as much as I agree with you, Abraham, that if Maria makes it to the finale, I think it's Maria's game to lose. But I will say this. Maria seems like she's loved by everyone, but I do expect this jury to be a very, very, very petty jury with kind of how they've interacted all season. So I'm not throwing. I'm throwing it out there that it could be one of those situations where someone makes it to the end, they should win, and then the jury just decides, no, never mind.
No, I mean, some people, like, let's take for instance, let's say jury Q goes to the jury. He gonna like game recognize game. He's gonna vote for the player that played. Charlie would vote for the player that plays. There's a couple of petty ones in there, but at the end of the day, there's more people that's just going to vote for how you played the game and say, okay, that was a good run. And they're not going to be petty about it. So, but there's going to be some pettiness. It's already some pettiness. But let me tell you something. The most laid back player in season 46 is Q.
I think it's Ben. I think Ben's the most laid back.
No, Ben just quiet.
That's laid back.
They highlighted that. So they highlighted Ben's mistake in a sneak peek for this episode where Ben writes down Kenzie's name. Now, you don't accidentally write down anybody's name in Survivor, because had Venus played her idol, now you got to go back and vote for Q or Kenzie. Guess who they vote now? Kenzie. Because you already had 4 votes. So you already had enough votes to vote Kenzie out. So Kenzie would have been gone off of a mistake that Ben made. So I want to see how that plays out on this episode tonight, because she could have went home had Venus played her immunity idol and not put it in a trophy case at home, which is cool. Because
I mean, this season should have their own like warehouse, which is like Survivor 46 memorabilia, and just have all 4 idols in this nice little trophy case. Well, all 4 idols that didn't get played this season.
What's my name? What's my guy's name?
Jim didn't play her idol. Hunter didn't play his. Tiffany didn't play hers, and now Venus didn't play that idol. I do agree with people. We were talking about maybe like why Maria was crying. I have a lot of people who agree with what I think. I'm sure Maria is crying because of the letters from home. Ken adds in might have to do with loved one letters, love letters from home, perhaps. Could be love letters too. I think they might be getting love letters tonight, and that might be why she's crying. And it's CBS trying to push, this is the reason she's emotional. It's because maybe she's backstabbing Charlie, but it could be loved one letters. And then I saw one other comment I wanted to show.
It could be.
Jay adds in, you're not going to like this, Abraham. Nah, Ben is a poser.
I mean, Ben is playing. I mean, Ben is in the game. I mean, he's a great guy in person too. I mean, he's in the game, but he's not making. He's going along with everything. He's not making any. He's going to come to a point where you just run out of time. It's a delicate balance on when to make a move, when not to make a move, what you have in your pocket, whatever. And it's just that Maria is playing it better right now than anybody. So she's winning immunity. She didn't find immunity, so she's having to win immunity, and she's competing. What's funny is they'd be like, okay, Venus can beat you in this, and she's almost winning, but Maria is winning.
Well, so Abraham,
I will vote her out.
Let's make a predictions. Who's getting? We only have a couple more minutes here before this flew by because we do about 30 minutes, and then we get ready for the show tonight. But who's your prediction of who's going home
tonight? The exit will be either. Can I get 2?
You want 2? I mean, if you want, it's your role. It's your rules.
It's so either going to be Ben or Liz.
Maria's going home tonight.
You've never been right about anything that we discuss in the game of Survivors. History of
voting. Maria is going home tonight.
No.
Abraham, do you mean that? Are you saying I've never been right about anything?
You might be right about some, but we're not going to get credit right now. That's not what we're going to do. We're going to look at it like you're not right. That's so nobody believes you. But at the end of the day, Maria not going home.
Daryl says Ben is going home with rocks would be Ben going home with rocks would be very fitting because he always says that does not rock. Ken adds in, this season is actually refreshing considering that no idols have been used. It's great to see more old schoolish seasons without all the advantages, even though it wasn't intentional by the producer. Sorry, I can't read. Daryl says Maria is going home, I think. Ken's also adds in, I'm guessing Q. Georgette thinks Maria. Jay says Maria has preview immunity since Charlie talked about targeting her in the preview, and that person almost never gets targeted in the actual episode. So Jay says, because of the smoke screen that Survivor gives us, Maria's safe tonight. She's got the preview immunity.
Man, look, you if they show your family, we'd be like, no, you're going home. If they start showing your history, we'd be like, oh, she getting voted out. Some telltale signs of things, you'd be like, well, why did we get this whole story on Venus last week? Next thing you know, she's gone. But it's going to be an interesting last 2 episodes of Survivor, tonight and next week. And people, oh man, when you look at the game of Survivor, I always tell people the same thing. The players make the season. That's it. The players. When they first started, we was like, we could remember half the players' name. We were like, who are they? And then they heated up. Hunter, I mean, at least 4 episodes, we didn't know his full name. It was like, Hunter who? He's so quiet. He was making beds that was still on the rocks. Next thing you know, Hunter came out to be a player. But he still went home with an idol in his pocket. Banu was a save everybody. I want to. Is that it? That was Banu. So Banu's going to forever be known as that. I'm hoping to meet Banu next week. So Banu, not Bono. Who haven't we remembered? Hold on for a second.
You need me to bring this up for you?
No.
Don't forget the rites of passage will be this weekend.
Mariah was a quiet departure. if Mariah had to play like her tribal council voice, Mariah would have still been there. I would have loved to see Mariah play after the merge. Oh, Soda. I think Soda, if she'd get blindsided by messing with the other Jokers, she would have been fun. I think Soda and Tiffany, had they combined, I mean, there's so many matchups that if we'd have saw them, they'd have just been some fun we would have saw. But this is going to be a hell of a season, and I don't see Maria going home tonight. So for all you,
well, Ken's adds in. My prediction is Q goes home in 6, Maria 5th, Ben in 4 from Fire. Liz finishes 3rd with no votes. Charlie in 2nd with a couple, and Kinsey winning. So bookmark this. Let's see if Kins has the script. Daryl adds in, Q has made this season amazing. Jay says, say hi to Banu for me, Abe, if you end up seeing Banu. Roy adds in, no way I can be convinced Kinsey deserves to win.
Thank you.
We're going to try to convince you. I'm going to try. Daryl says, I like Tim. He was gone too soon. Daryl also adds in, bitter jury will let Kinsey win. And then Jay adds in, Maria at 5th makes sense because her edit is very similar to other new era 5th placers who had under the radar edits like Lauren and Julie. So we'll just have to wait and see. 2 more episodes. I want to remind everybody that make sure to join us. We love that you choose us as your podcast of choice. And make sure to join us immediately following the episode tonight. Myself and Abraham will be back to discuss everything that happened on episode 12 of Survivor 46. That's right. We are back. Also, I'm sure everyone has heard the Australian news. Make sure to go check this post out. It says everything you need to know so far about that. Everything we know about the Australia versus America season is it's expected to be a shortened season. It's going to be returning legends from both countries. They are planning on filming in September, and they're going to release that one first, or they're planning to release that one first in January. So it's going to be a really short season. From what I'm hearing, it's expected to be like 24, like 20 to 26 days. It's supposed to be a very, very short season, kind of like a mini Survivor with legends of the game. And that is supposed to release in January. It is solely, this could be canceled. It is solely dependent on if they can get enough people that they want, enough legends of the show that they want to be on it. So this is a work in progress. They are planning it. It all depends on if they have enough legends to compete.
Legends, look, we've all looked at Australian Survivor. A legend will get dusted. It's the reason why you get the title legend.
Yeah, I can't wait to see this. And then the newbie season, because we're getting 2 seasons next year. Everything we know about that is I said it's going to be the 2nd edition of Brains versus Bronze for Survivor Australia. So it's Brains versus Bronze 2. Only newbies. It's going to be a full-length season, the full 46 days. They're going to film that in July. So they're going to film it a few months before the September filming of Australia versus America. But then it's going to release after the shortened season. That's the one part that is mucky. No one has been able to confirm a rumor of saying when it could release. It could release next summer. I heard a lot of people think it might release next fall to compete with Survivor. Which Survivor would that be? We have 47 this fall, 48 in the spring. It'd be 49. 49 would be next fall because 47 would be this fall. So it'd be 49. I heard they might do that. I also heard a rumor, which this would be really smart if they did this, that Survivor Australia could try to go right in that like summer period of when Survivor 48 ends and we don't have any Survivor going on. They could slide in right there.
I mean, they're looking at their demographics on their side of the world. So I don't think they probably look at our stuff, but before we go back to the challenge tonight. Who do you think is going to win that challenge?
What's the challenge? Do we know what it is?
Oh, they're going to jump in the water, swimming.
That's like every challenge.
No, swimming in Fiji is not as much fun.
If these are the duos, I'm going Kinsey and Charlie.
Oh, I don't know. See, to me, every team has somebody that you're going to have to motivate and pull. So Liz is going to have to motivate. Liz is coming in dead last in every challenge, no matter what it is. I'm not saying she can't compete. She's just not the fastest. So you got Maria and Ben. Ben I'm going to give Ben a little hedge on the nod. I think Ben will gut it out. Charlie and Kenzie is the one that you're going to have to give some pep talk to get through it because she's coming in second to last. So I'm going to go with Maria and Ben winning this one. Now, once that happened, I want you to text me and say, you're right. Obi-Wan.
Is this part of the deal? I mean, we will cover that later. Someone asked in the chat if we talk to the fans. We do chat with the fans. You're always welcome to join us, and we're always able to show comments as well. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the pre-show. Make sure to join us live right here on YouTube, SurvivorNowPodcast.com, Twitch, or X at 9:35 as we break down the episode. We will chat with you guys later.